Hi guys, today I have 7 fragrances from a brand new house, or for me it's a brand new house. I think it's quite a quite new house. It's an Italian house called M.INT. I have these little samples. It's spelled like M.INT, and then the names are kind of like cute little names. This one's called Fashion Intervention. One is Moonglade, Mystic Treasure, Meek Passion, etc. They're a little bit hard to remember which one is which. And I'll come to my overall opinion about the house at the end, but I'd like to go through them one at a time. But I'm not going to go I'm not going to make like a super in-depth review of each one because I don't like them enough to kind of do like comparisons with other fragrances and wear them like 3 whole days. You know, life's just too short for that. So, well, that kind of gives you an idea about my about this house. But they have really cool packaging. Not many reviewers have talked about this house. I did find a review that was made by Redolescence. I think it was sponsored not by the brand, but by the retailer that sold him this particular perfume. I guess it's a part of their, you know, what they have to offer, their offerings. And I think he probably had some kind of a code. It seemed a little bit sponsored. But I really do think that I think maybe they let him pick out a fragrance or two because he's only reviewed like 2 fragrances from there. And he was like, oh, if you get these, get them here, wherever that was. So I did think that like he went out and bought, you know, maybe discounted, maybe he got them for free, I don't know. But buy them here. Fragrances that he actually liked because he was sort of going on and on about it. I only watched one of them. The other one I didn't have. So here in my collection I have, okay, so I'll start with the 2 first ones that I tried were Moonglade and Fashion Intervention. And I'll just group them together because I found these to be quite masculine leaning. I thought they were both actually pretty nice. I just felt kind of like a man when I was wearing them. And the first one is created by Chris Maurice, Moonglade. And this is a fragrance, it has all these different, it's kind of I think that like you can summarize it as like an unconventional take on lavender, but it also has like fruity notes, like black currant. It had galbanum, which kind of made me interested. Let me just spray a little just to remember. I don't get much of that galbanum. To me, it's kind of a little bit of a weird clash of notes. It has this coconut and lavender, but it also has like kind of like greenish notes, bergamot. I don't know. Some people compare it to Erba Pura, which I don't agree with at all because that one's really, really loud and this one is much more soft. And I think it would be great on a man. I'm not going to spend my time on this fragrance, so it's not for me. Okay, and next comes this Fashion Intervention. I'm not sure about the stories behind all of these names, but this one also has like berries. Oh, the other one had black currant. This one has blackberry, pink pepper. It also has caramel. Oh, I've written that there's something metallic about this fragrance. It's definitely masculine, something I would never wear. Let's see what else? Osmanthus and cherry blossom. Is there something, I don't know. It's just, these are, I don't know. I don't love these fragrances. And it reminds me a little bit of a fragrance house called MaLo. That is this Swedish entrepreneur and kind of started his own brand. And the fragrances are not that great. MaLo. You can get these fragrances at Sniff. If you're listening from the UK, they have this service where you can buy like 8 milliliter niche perfumes, like a subscription service. It's a Swedish company. This is a Swedish guy. I think he's just kind of been playing around with fragrance and he wants to be a niche kind of, I guess, start a niche house. And the fragrance is just not that great. And I feel a little bit the same way about these. And then there's Hit the Mark. I just sprayed this in my hand. Oh yeah, this is the one. I smelled this at a friend's house last week and I was kind of like, ooh, what's this? But the more I wear it, it's just not, it's like a mint chocolate fragrance with a little bit of incense and patchouli. That's what it is. But it's kind of like, I don't know. Some of this, I think that all of these fragrances, they have something sweet in there that doesn't, I don't know if it's synthetic or it's something, it's in a way that I don't like the way it's done. Because I mean, I love cacao porcelana. I love like a dusty cacao, but like a chocolate. Let's see what other notes this chocolate fragrance has. Oh, it has jasmine in there, mint and jasmine and incense, patchouli, cedar. It's kind of like really dark, and then comes this jasmine, like a little sour tart kind of thing in the middle. I don't know. I'm not a fan. Would never buy full bottle. I don't hate it. And then I have, let's see, Mystic Treasure, which is a tobacco. Let's see, was that the tobacco one? Yeah, that was the tobacco fragrance. They're all kind of like known perfumers. I mean, some of them I've never heard of. Chris Maurice is I guess the one who made Moonglade, the first one I mentioned, is like the guy behind many of Xerjoff's fragrances, so he's quite famous. The one who made Fashion Intervention is called Dominique Mulhausen, never heard of him. Hit the Mark was created by Philippine Courtier, a woman, don't know her either. Mystic Treasure, this is the tobacco one. It has like tobacco and praline, which is that like right there, it's like too sweet. I wouldn't wear this either. Let's see. I'm just going to give it a little tiny squirt again. I just can't spend more time on these. I don't hate it, but I don't know. It's just not, I'm not going to spend more time on these fragrances. There is one, though, that I like. I'll get to that one. And then there's Meek Passion. And Meek Passion is the one that Redolessence really, really liked. It has an unusual note of banana. And the banana in the opening is like really, really dominant. But it does dry down and kind of like fade out. And it has also pineapple. And I think that he was thinking maybe this was like an Aventus type fragrance. But it has this really fruity opening. I have to spray it on just to remember what it smelled like. Because it was really like, I really enjoyed like going through them all the first time. They made like a good first impression. But when I started like wearing them individually, I was like, no, I'm not going to wear these again. I don't even like banana, but I just thought it was interesting to like, when it dried down, the banana quiets down and it turns into kind of like it has cloves, it has cinnamon, it's a little bit of a spicy, it's kind of a dark fruity fragrance. It's not a freshie at all. It's kind of, I think the guy at what's his name? Steven? I can't remember. Redolessence, I think he said that you can use it like in all seasons, maybe not though in the heat of when it's like at its hottest in the summer. This wouldn't really work because it's kind of a little bit of a heavy fragrance. I mean, if you're into something kind of like odd and like you want something different, this is really unique. But the other fragrances, I think maybe not so unique. But this one, yeah, I don't think I've smelled something like this. But to me, I find it like not something that I would want to put on. And that was created by Serge de Oliveira. I don't know him. Let's see, banana, apple, bergamot, lemon. And then comes pineapple, clove, cinnamon, powdery notes. And then it has this kind of like ambery base with patchouli, vanilla, cashmere wood. I mean, you might like it. It's not for me. Okay, then comes my favorite one. And that is called Vibrant Scent. I'll just show you the Vibrant Scent. This was created by Fabrice Pellegrin, which I have heard of. I don't know what else he has done, but this is a really kind of like a slightly gourmandy iris fragrance. It has lily of the valley, pink pepper, freesia, jasmine cedar, orris, and cashmere wood. So it's a little bit sweet. I mean, it's kind of like, I have iris dragées, so I probably would not like need another like gourmandy. It's a sweet iris. It's not like papery, but there's a distinct note of iris for sure, but it doesn't like, it's not earthy and cold and damp. It's like, it's powdery and soft and kind of feminine leaning. What did I write here? I can't even see what I've written. Anyway, yeah, I don't think it's full bottle worthy, but that's because I have so many iris fragrances. If I had smelled this when I was getting into fragrance, I think I would really, really like this one. Vibrant Scent. I think they know that this is their best one because when you go into their website and you can kind of like, they have some like compiled discovery sets, and then you can put together your own. But I think that Vibrant Scent is like in all of them. I think that was something I just kind of noticed when I was looking through. So I think they know that this is the best one. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. I still probably don't think I'll, use it up. I'll just probably pass the whole discovery set on to someone else because it's fun for other people to be able to try. The last one is a nutty gourmandy fragrance. It's called Affecting Mind. It was created by Elise Benat. I see now that I've written it was created in 2016. So I guess that the house has been around for a few years. The other one, it's between 2016 and 2022. So I think it's like they're fairly recent house. But Affecting Mind, this has something. It's an artificial nut fragrance, is what I've written. Hazelnut, cardamom, sesame, ginger, vetiver, cedar, amber, musk, and suede. There's something, I think I find the notes to clash a little bit. Yeah, this reminds me a little bit of like, God, what is that? Kiss Me Quickly by 4160 Tuesdays, I think is the house. Yeah, I mean, in the way that the notes clash. Like they're sweet with tart with metallic. And that sweetness is just, it's kind of like the sweetness of an artificial sweetener. Like, when you drink like a diet drink and it doesn't quite taste right, the sweetness is a little off. Not that I ever drink diet drinks. I haven't had a sip of one like a Coca-Cola Light or something for decades. And the weird thing is when I drink those drinks, I feel like my arms hurt. Like if I remember that, like back in the day when I'd maybe have one of those or like at least have a glass of that at someone's house or whatever, that like my arms would hurt right after I'd like a few minutes after drinking it, which I thought was really strange. So I just like, I'm not doing this. This is something in here is not good. I get kind of a little bit that artificial sugar feeling with this Affecting Mind, and also a little bit of the other fragrance. I think that's what's bothering me a little bit. That the sweetness is a little weird. Like, yeah, it's like it's like when it's sweet and not a good way. Yeah, it's kind of like, I guess, I don't know, in the States they call it, I think, Splenda. You put it in your coffee and stuff and it tastes weird. Not that, I've never had it. I'm just guessing that it doesn't taste that great. I mean, if you're using honey or a natural sugar, it tastes in one way. If you're using artificial stuff, it tastes always a little bit off. This is my opinion anyway. And I think this house is not doing it for me. And this is an interesting phenomenon, I think, when it comes to fragrance. And that is that if you get like the first 7 fragrances, I mean, I've tried like all of these now, give me this impression, I will never go back and want to try the rest. And this house, this was started by an Italian couple, and they have 25 fragrances in their under this brand, M.INT or Mint. And I'm done. I don't want to go back. And the same thing has happened to me with like Nicolaï. I don't like that house much. I think I wrote this down. Did I write this down? I listed some fragrance houses. Like, I haven't even tried very many fragrances, but I'm like not interested in keep, I don't want to keep going and try more because I've had enough. And it's kind of a shame though, because Nicolaï has like so many fragrances, and what if they have some really good ones? But I tried like 2 or 3, and they kind of gave me that, like, they were not well blended, they were too loud, they were something about the DNA just didn't turn me on. And the opposite, I could say that like Mizensir, Alberto Moria's house really, really impressed me. I've only tried like 3 or 4, maybe 5 fragrances, and I'm like super curious to try the rest. Same thing with Electimuss. Like, I tried, the first ones that I've tried have been like so good. I just want to try the rest. Other houses, now I remember, that I have not liked after just a few fragrances are Mancera and Montale. Those fragrances, there are a few there that are just like really bad. To me, they've got it all wrong. It's just blunt. It's loud in the wrong kind of way. I remember trying a vanilla fragrance from Montale in these like tin bottles at a friend's house, and it was just like really bad. Like it's like I don't even want to see that brand again. So I mean, they only have like so many chances to make a first impression, I think, these houses. And then there's like Byredo, but like Byredo I used to like, and I have like tried all the fragrances there. I think I pretty much tried them all. I mean, I'm Swedish. It's a Swedish brand. I have access to like the whole lineup. So I can, when something new comes out, it's easy for me to try it, and everyone talks about it. It's quite hyped here. Like a lot of people that are not into perfume, but they're kind of like this, like they're kind of like trendy. They'll have like something from Byredo on their shelf at home, maybe like only one fragrance, like Blanche, or maybe they'll have like Bal D'Afrique. The same gang that also buys Santal 33, and they think that they're super unique because they have Santal 33 from the Labo. Also have usually like one, maybe two Byredo fragrances, and that's all they wear. They're like, oh, I have this, and this is what I wear. And then they have this one fragrance that they wear. I don't like Byredo, but I feel bad though. You know, I'm Swedish. I should like them, and I should, you know, market them and be happy for their sake. And I mean, he's a great entrepreneur, Ben Gorham, that started the brand. I really like the presentation. It's so simple, so nice, the magnetic tops and everything. And I like the names, and there's so many good things about this brand. It's just the juice inside just does not do it for me. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Do you know anything about M.INT? Please let me know. I'd love to find out. And also about Byredo and these other houses that I mentioned. Do you have other houses that have, like where you've had a first impression, good or bad, and where you have changed your mind later on? I'm very curious to find out about that as well. Anyway, it's so fun to hear from you. I've really enjoyed your comments lately. I had someone actually kind of got after me for using the word Oriental about perfumery. To me, when I say Oriental, I'm really referring to the Middle East and fragrances that are like resinous, ambery, spicy, woody, maybe vanillic. They could have. This is what I mean. It's kind of, I guess I could use the word amber maybe instead, but I had no idea that someone could, you know, associate this with racism. I'm not talking about a certain kind of people or anything. I'm talking about like a region where a certain kind of perfumery kind of started and is now, it's kind of spreading now to the Western world. And I find that kind of interesting. So I mean, I hear the perfume guy talking about Oriental, and he does actually make a little disclaimer in the beginning of a video where he talks about what is Oriental. And he himself is from the Middle East, and he's fine with this term, but he says he never uses it other than in perfumery or for perfumery, because he does think it's, you know, very descriptive or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try to use other words. It's not important for me to hold on to this word Oriental. I just thought it was, to me, that tells me something, and I thought maybe that would be a good word to use, perhaps. I'll just end off this video by telling you guys about my scent of the day, which happens to be a little bit in that category, ambery category. It is Rosendo Mateu number 6. I have a decant. I'm almost running out. I really have enjoyed wearing it today. It wears off quite quickly. It's not like a real heavy. It's not like Rosendo Mateu number 7. That one really lasts. This has kind of like sandalwood, vanilla, some florals. It's kind of like am I allowed to say Floriental? Because that's like a category of fragrance I have heard people say, Florientals. But it also has a coconut note. I don't know if it's listed or if I just get that vibe myself. I think it is listed, actually. It has a coconut. So it's kind of a creamy, ambery kind of fragrance with florals. Really, really nice. Don't know if I'd get a bottle because, okay, this will be my last kind of point or observation for this video. And that is that as soon as I buy a bottle, I tend to not use it. Like I tend to not use a fragrance. So like when I go full bottle, now I'm running out of my absolute Aphrodisiac from Initio. I really love this fragrance. I've seen some people selling it secondhand, but I know that if I buy that 90 milliliter bottle, I'm not going to wear it. And it is so strange. I don't know why. I mean, the fragrances that I wear a lot are like Opera from Xerjoff, Dhajala from Xerjoff, Le Lion from Chanel, Chanel number 19 Poudré from Chanel. What else do I wear? I mean, Oud Satin Mood I wear, but only like 4 times a year, maybe 3 times a year. I mean, there are a few more that are kind of like in my kind of weekly or monthly rotation, but like a lot of the fragrances there are they're just standing there. And I loved them when I first got them. And like then I don't wear them. And this is just really strange to me. I think it's because I'm just so busy, you know, going through samples and I just want to try new things. But I am sending mint off to somebody else. I might swap it. I might just give it to someone. I don't know. And I'm going to wear the fragrances that I love. How about you guys? That's all for today.